They burnt his village down. They killed his mom. He held that with him all his life. And he wants revenge against those involved. And I think it's gonna be a bloody time for those in power corrupted by crime. The people chant his name after he fights. Oh, go, go, go. He's the monkey man. Monkey man. He's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. And he's gonna beat the shit out of everyone. "30 films I'm finally seeing. One a day, all June long. And then after, if you're asking, yes, I'll be podcasting. 'Cause movie month's back, and I'll be the man. To watch and podcast all month long. Yeah, movie month's back, for 30 straight days again. I hope each day you come along. Please come along, don't just stay here for this song. 'Cause it's movie month time, this is the movie month. Ooh, 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 honey, it's movie month time, yeah, this is the movie month. Ooh, 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 honey, it's movie month time, yeah, this is the movie month. Ooh, 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 please listen to me as I talk movies.
Trouble coming, the cartoon killers and the rank of the clones. Stachios kicking a rhythm of social circumcision. I can't close the closet on a shoebox full of bones.
Come on! Happy Friday, everybody! It's Friday, June 28th. And you know what that means? That means for the 28th day in a row, I watched a movie I've never seen before. And for the 28th day in a row, I'm here podcasting about it to you, the people of the planet called Earth. Folks, I am very happy that I chose today's movie. I have to tell you something. It was down to two movies. I wasn't sure which one I wanted to go with. Ultimately, I think I made the right decision. I went with one that had a higher Rotten Tomato score, which take it that or leave it. I went with one that I was more interested in seeing, and yet I will see the movie that I didn't talk about, probably next year. I'll probably see those two giant monsters either fight or team up. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I won't tell you exactly what that movie is, but I think you have an idea of what it could be. But instead of giant lizards and giant monkeys or apes, I went with a metaphorical monkey with today's movie, Monkey Man. I remember seeing the trailer for it the first time and saying to myself, "Ooh, this looks awesome." Very much in line with my idea of what makes good cinema. Someone is avenging or revenging someone, and they do it by killing lots of bad guys. I love John Wick. I love Jack Reacher. I love Robert McCall now, yes. And I also love The Kid, Monkey Man. This one is I remember when the trailer first came out, they were like, "Oh, it looks like it like an Indian John Wick." Uh, and I think that's mainly because he had long black hair and he wore a suit sometimes and he was Indian. I think those are the three components to put it together. And he was fighting and karateing and shooting and stabbing, all of my favorite things in most movies. If all movies had that, well, the Fablemans might have. Well, no, they had some shooting, but it was mostly it was all fake. Um, this movie was not only starring but directed by Dev Patel. Now, this was his first time in the director's chair. What I read was that this was going to be a Netflix movie, and Jordan Peele, the, you know, comedic actor turned serious director, um, he saw this and was like, whoa, no, no, no. He bought it back from Netflix to put it in the theater. And I ended up seeing it on Peacock. So I didn't see it in the theater anyway. I might have seen it sooner if it was a Netflix movie. But this was it was exactly what I hoped it would be. A movie of revenge, where you cared about the character, you cared about his motives, and you hated the villain enough to not want to see any sort of forgiveness. You know, it's up to God. It's only God forgives, or something like that. There was some line he said. Uh, this movie was so much fun. It did have that, when I say John Wick style of bright solitary colors where like the light is all purple or all blue or something. They very stylized lighting, um, very kinetic energy. At some moment, we went into like first person fighting, where you just see the hands, like you're almost the eyes of the actor. I very much enjoyed all the fight choreography, but they're also, and I'm being very ignorant, I'm assuming there was some deep um, political messages, because there were some, right on the surface, talk of this sovereign party, I think it was what it was called, a new political party, and these people are in power and they have people behind them, and there was like a religious guru guy who is like all about life and body and mind and spiritualism, and he's never going to be political, but he was supporting a specific political person, and obviously these people are all dirty, and they have this wonderful like campus, this wonderful location that he got from forcing these people out of their homes, out of their village, out of their livelihood, uh, and doing it in such a violent way. So linearly, the movie has this small boy and his mom living in this village. This police officer shows up with a bunch of guys, and they're like, we are taking you this land, by right or whatever. And the mother makes some sign of, take that note and shove it up your ass. They come back later and tear it all down, kill a bunch of people. I think they sexually assault the mother. Maybe they definitely, he definitely beats the shit out of her and kills her. No, he does. I think God, I watched it this morning. Okay. I watched it before work. Um, but he's terrible to the mother, and we see little glimpses of him remembering this throughout the movie. And towards the end, he infiltrates this business to get a job, to show how hard he can work. He shows his hands. He goes, "Look at these hands. These hands are burnt by bleach. That's because I work hard. I don't stop." And obviously, that wasn't the full story. These hands were burnt trying to save his mother. But he ends up working with this club, basically, run by this woman. She doesn't seem to be the big boss. It's I believe the religious cult guy is the big boss. Um, but the person who did the physical, actual violence to his mother was this police chief. So it was him basically trying to get to this into this job just to get to these people, these powerful, corrupt people. And to me, the woman who owned the bar, she was just collateral damage. She was, awful. She's abusive. She human trafficking. What she does to the women in this movie is just awful. So when she does get her comeuppance from one of the women, it's very wonderful. And then they just chop off her fingers so they can use it to scan codes. But it's all about him getting to this police officer. He finally gets to him, but it doesn't quite go right. He ends up having to run, and ends up, falling into this water. And we don't see it. The one thing is we don't see him getting pulled out. We don't see him getting saved. I wonder if that was shot and edited out for time. I almost feel like I wish we had that scene of him getting, taken out by these people. There was, so I don't know. It seems like there is a group of people who kind of live in harmony away from everywhere else. Like they're the unseen. It's almost like, I don't think they were like gypsies, but there was a mention earlier about the transgender community. And it seemed like there were some of these people were, transgender women, I believe. I don't know if I was, I wasn't sure if the one guy, Alpha, I don't know if Alpha was transgender, or like there was fingernail polish and like, but then there was another person who I'm pretty sure was transgender. So it was like it was this community that they welcomed everyone and they were happy, but and they lived kind of in the shadows. That was my sense of it. And they took him in, and they nurtured him, brought him back. I think they knew what he was there to do, what he was supposed to do, and they let him do it. And the great part is, at the end when he goes in for the final fight, they show up dressed like badasses. Like I don't know, I'm ignorant, so I think they were dressed like some sort of god or goddess, and they just were killing people and beating up people and fighting people, and I loved that. Um, I just it the story was nothing completely original. Like, okay, these people are forced out of their homes. The mother is killed. The young boy grows up to take revenge. That's the gist of it. And does he get his revenge? Yes, he does. He has this friend who this guy comes in. He's almost like he helps out. He seems like he's part of the criminal underground, but he also helps out Monkey Man. They just call him the Kid. I think his name in the credits is Kid. So helps him out to the point where they almost become accomplices. And um, it's just, oh, and he goes, I'm going to help you make some money, bet everything on the Monkey Man. And then he shows up, and you could see he's in this fight. This was like the closest thing to professional wrestling, but with real fighting. It's like characters, and they really um, ham it up and make it like theatrical. Um, uh, stage presence, all that kind of stuff. And then he goes in for these fights, but he does lose. And it seems like he loses on purpose a lot, and he gets his cut. And Shalto Copley, um, who was it, District 9 and the A Team, that's what I know from the most. This is a guy I thought would do bigger things, but maybe he has. Maybe I've just missed some things. And I was like, is this my first Dev Patel movie? And it isn't for movie month, because I watched Chappie with also Shalto Copley is in that as well. So I thought that was kind of cool that maybe they made a friendship in that movie and Dev brought him in for this one. I don't know. I thought that was just cool to see that connection. Um, oh my God, it's not even that late. It's 9:30 on a Friday night. I'm yawning. Um, so those fight scenes were good, and it's when they started. He looked like the idea of a guy wearing a monkey mask, but it was so badass. And then he befriends this dog, and I'm thinking, oh God, please don't make this a John Wick situation. I can't handle that again. I just had a wonderful day in Newburyport, Massachusetts with my wife. It was too much for her because I mentioned many times she's still recovering from back surgery. So we got her to a chair, sat her down on some cushions. I think she got up once to use the restroom, sat down most of the time. We had a really nice time. A lot of people come up and meet our dog, and I think that's fun. and she said it was worth it, but she is suffering for it right now. But again, back to the dog. I thought there was going to be a John Wick situation, and instead, it was really cool. He befriended this dog. He befriended this dog so much that there was a routine. The dog had a routine. The dog would come from every time, sneaking through this fence. So he used the dog to get a gun in. I loved that. So so cool. And I think I read that Dev Patel does he's been practicing martial arts most of his life. So I'm assuming most, if not all, of the fighting was him. He definitely, at one point, the simplest thing, he's running away and he hops a fence and he does it so swiftly. I was so impressed by just him jumping a fence so quick. It was a tall fence. I'm like, a fence that maybe is up, nip high on me. I might have trouble getting over that. This guy scales double monkey man. Like if you could, double the size of him, boom, does it no problem. So that thing that impressed me alone. Never mind the fighting and the style. And this is a first time director, um, and the use of Indian culture, Indian music, Indian was it Denali and the fireworks and bringing it all together. Like it showed another aspect of international culture that dum dums like me don't know all that much about, and it's cool to see. The ending of the movie, so he eventually, and he does it so viciously. He bests the police officer, uh, and he just takes all his rage out on him. It's like this is the man who did this to my mother, and it is vicious and it is violent and it is over and over and over and over again. But I think that was the big release of doing this to my mother. But it's not everything because this person, that police officer, was working. He did the deed, but he was doing it for someone else. And so he gets to the top building. It's almost like a video game. It's like or that Raid Redemption where you have to get up level. That movie Raid. I saw Raid Redemption. I don't think I ever saw Raid 2. Where the final boss is that religious guy, and he's using all his mumbo jumbo talk on him, and he says, "Look at this sandal," and he talks about how this sandal, um, this man wore that created these sandals to so that he would lessen the things he stepped on, or he wouldn't kill anything he stepped on with his bare feet or something. And there was a little prayer on it saying, forgive me for the lives that I upset or end just with my footprints. I'm getting it wrong, but that's the gist of it. And it's kind of a cool parable that every step you take, you're actually killing something weird. I don't know. I don't even know if the parable is the right word. I just thought it was a cool little thing. But what he really had was part of the sandal has a knife I think that he took that from the sandal, this where it pulled out and there was a weapon in it. And boom, he stabs Monkey Man. And the kid's like, yep, yep. Okay, you did that to me. Then I think he gets him with the switchblade, beats him up, beats the crap out of him, takes the friggin' thing, and the guy's on his back now. And he's like, please, my followers need me. I'll give you anything you want. Please forgive me or something. And he goes, oh, ask God for forgiveness. Takes that friggin' blade and shoves it right into his head. Boom, right between the eyes, right in the forehead. It was beautiful. And he looks over at this tapestry because also during the movie, there's talk of this begins with an H and is like the monkey man, this thing that came to and would help the people. And he would be the mother said at one point, that's like you, or that I think that's where he got the inspiration for the monkey and being monkey man fighting. And he's looking at that tapestry. Everyone's dead that he needed to kill. And then he slumps over and the movie ends. And I was like, oh, so cool. Now there was a woman who was being sold. She ended up, I think she killed the Queenie, the main woman, hit her in the head with something. She was befriending. They had some sort of friendly relationship, but nothing ever there was no romance in it. But I wonder if she gets up and helps him. Does he get out alive? Did he die? Because he was stabbed pretty bad. And if he did die, at least he died taking them out. And it was almost like I fulfilled my purpose in life. I've done everything I need to do. I've done what I was set out to do since I was a child, I can move on now. And whether that means he survives and he gets to live his life or he moves on to the afterlife, and, so be it. If this is how I go, at least I went out completing my mission. Uh, something like that. Very good movie, thoroughly enjoyable. He is like I remember seeing him in Slumdog Millionaire, and then I saw him in Chappie. I don't know what else I've seen him. He's been in a bunch of things. I mean, guy's a great actor, but he is also now a legit stud, a legit filmmaking director, a legit kick-ass action star. So he's just believable. And I guess when I saw like Parenthood or Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, I never thought, oh, that guy is going to be a believable kick-ass action star. And you just how you do it, how you become that is by doing it. And uh, um, Keanu Reeves did it as John Wick, and Dev Patel did it as Monkey Man. And I'm here for it. And if he does survive, I want Monkey Man too. You know, back in business. That's bad. Monkey Man 2, um, Monkeyer than ever. I don't know. These are bad things, but I would put it this way. Now I'm going to pay attention to the movie that Dev Patel creates, the movie he directs, movies he directs. We'll be like, oh, I really liked Monkey Man, so I'm going to check out, XYZ, whatever it is. So again, that's movie month is broadening my horizons and making me more of a fan of someone who I already appreciated, but appreciating them more and wanting to, go deeper into what they've done and what they have in the future coming. And I think that's it. I think I'm done. A couple things like, can you believe one of the reasons I said, should I do this? Let me find a photo, an image. And the image the poster, I loved it, but it reminded me so much of the, was it not the Nun 2, but the First Omen. Like it's red, it's kind of silhouetted, not quite. I said, who cares? Who cares? I'm doing this for me. No one really cares that much. I get a couple likes on Instagram. I get a couple listens on the website. On the podcast. I get some good, a couple listens on YouTube. I appreciate anyone who does find it. But I thought the coolest shot was that shot of him coming out of the elevator. That's the poster. So that's the image for this episode. And you'll notice that this podcast did not have a trailer at the beginning. I had the trailer there. The trailer was like 3 minutes long, but I had this idea. And all day I was singing Monkey Man, Monkey Man. So I said, damn it, this is your chance. Just do it. So I go on YouTube, get the instrumental version of Monkey Man. I write up a quick verse and a chorus. I go into GarageBand. I shorten it down so it just goes right into the right from the opening right to the chorus and then just the ending. And I recorded it maybe a half an hour ago, and I just was like, I want to put it in there. So I was going to do the trailer, then I was going to get to the song, then do the Grease song, the theme song. But I was like, you know what? I don't know if people hit play, I want them to hear that right away and not just hear the trailer and give up. Maybe if they hear the song right away, they'll stick around a little longer. On YouTube, I put up the Meg 2, The Trench. Someone wrote, don't bother wasting your time. It's just clickbait. Like, clickbait. Clickbait would say Meg 2, The Trench full movie. This says Meg 2, The Trench movie month podcast. And the picture is my giant head on Jason Statham's body. It's not clickbait, buddy. You just dumb. So I actually wrote, is that a shark pun? Like clickbait? The only thing I'm trying to bait is podcast listeners like you, which I appreciate you sticking around all this episode and all month long. So listen, that's it. I'm going to call it. I'm going to get this up and done. Then I'm going to sit down, finish my iced coffee. This is my second podcast I recorded tonight. I did one with my buddies Chris and Dave. We talked about the Eddie Murphy and Nick Nolte classic, 48 Hours, and I hadn't seen that in so long. So I watched that today too. So I don't sleep much. Hopefully my dog doesn't want to go for a midnight walk tonight. She did last night. She did the night before. Oh God, I pray that taking her to Newburyport today tired her out. Please, please, please. Okay, that's it. I'm done. 2 more days. 2 more days. The movies are locked in. I haven't made the post yet. I haven't made the photos yet, but they are locked in. They are happening. That is it. So get ready for 29 and 30. These are movies that had definitely Academy Award buzz and some awards. That's all I'll say. But until tomorrow, my friends, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and Mastodon.social at Geek Mentality. The Facebook page is Fans Not Experts. The YouTube channel is Fans Not Experts. Well, that's because the website is fansnotexperts.com. All right, dudes, I'm done. You're done. Let's be done together. We can be a done team. All right. I keep quoting Better Off Dead. You know why? Because it's excellent. All right, my friends, I will see you tomorrow. 2 more days. I can't believe it. Thank you for listening. Thank you for subscribing. And until then, my friends, here is my theme song.
This is my podcast, I made it. Geek Mentality's what I named it. And I think you should listen and subscribe. Cause I'm kinda funny and awesome. I think that I'm worth your time. And I'm kinda handsome. My mom says, please listen and please subscribe. At least listen to this episode.
Fans Not Experts.